Okay, so I'm Alex Francois. I'm here to present the Kickstarter demo. Basically, I'm going to give a bit of background information about the game first. It's a point and click set in Victorian London in 1880. So it's before Jack the Ripper, but it's not about Jack the Ripper, it's about a serial killer in Victorian London around that time. Funded the Slaughter on Kickstarter about this time last year, and I showed a demo at AdventureX last year, so AdventureX was about here last year, so it was still wasn't at the target, so it was very shaky times around then. So yeah, just about managed it. 403 backers. Some of who may be here today. Tonight, here's some graphs because everyone likes graphs. It kind of gives you an idea of the amount of people who kind of find it through Kickstarter, who kind of find it through other things like Facebook, Twitter, things like that. Quite a large amount, well, the majority of people found it through external links, which is quite interesting to keep in mind. So I was always thinking, oh, no one's going to see this Facebook post, or no one's going to see this Twitter post, but it worked. And making the game using Construct 2. So a lot of people are obviously using AGS to make point-and-clicks here. Using Construct 2, which is a HTML5 game maker. And I kind of like it just because it gives a lot of freedom so I kind of have to make all the systems myself. So this is part of the, just to make the character kind of walk and make the animation change and everything. So it's got a lot of exporting possibilities. You can click on a button, you can have it on an iPhone or a PC. So let's have a look at the actual game. This is our main character, Sidney Emerson, and he's a private detective, though he hasn't had any good cases for a long time. This is flat in London. It's quite a nice flat, although he can't pay his rent, so he's pretty much got to get this case done. So yeah, it's a pretty simple point-click interface. One click to interact, left click to interact, right click to look. Just thought that was just. I do like have nostalgia for the old Monkey Island and stuff like that systems. They can look and push and pull and everything, but I just think this is a lot easier for people who aren't really familiar with games. Not meant to have two of those, but what we do for the demo. So this is the local pub. At this point in the game, we're trying to find out more about the girl who's been murdered. And basically, this is our only lead to go to this pub, because in the cigarette case, which we only have one of, we have two. If you look at this, so when you look at certain documents that get added to your journal, so basically we're trying to get to the members club, which is in the basement of this pub. So if we talk to this guy. So the last time we spoke to him, he served us a cocktail, and that was part of a puzzle. It was the puzzles are kind of like silly sometimes in the Monkey Island style, even though like the story and everything's quite dark. I like to have a bit of like humour in it. So we were trying to get through a grate into a morgue, and there was it had like screws on it, so we needed a screwdriver. So you go to the pub, order a screwdriver cocktail, and he doesn't have any little wooden umbrellas, so there's a little wooden screwdriver in it that you use. skywriting that's into the members club. In the game, like, everyone's meant to only Sydney's dialogue is white, but for some reason, as things often happen, demos, everyone's text was white, and this was a bit annoying. Like, everyone's text would be different colour usually. So let's go to this guy. Let's try going into the members club. Yeah, so sort of in the dialogue. What should I choose? Which one?
That one.
He doesn't get a chance to say anyway. He kind of, a lot of the things you'll see are kind of like in his head, and he's kind of smart. He'll kind of approach each situation as you realistically would, because he doesn't want to get beaten up, obviously. So he wouldn't say that. He just kind of think it. So every interaction with people is kind of different, and he might just tell some people straight out that he's a private detective. Some people it just won't make sense for him to do that, so he just kind of you kind of do control him, but he kind of does what he wants sometimes. Sometimes he'll say certain things, and he won't say it the way you kind of thought he would. You might end up having trouble. So this is a puzzle to get him through the door. Arm wrestle puzzle. So we need to beat this guy in arm wrestle. So what we have on us at the moment is a railing, a clamp, and a cigarette case, which we have to. So it's another quite silly puzzle, but logical. So if you talk to this guy again, sleep talking, and he's like a Crimean War veteran. So he's got a wooden hand. Take it. And you combine the wooden hand with the pole. Then we can challenge this guy to an arm wrestle again. So if you say, look behind you, he kind of will say something. It's like there'll be 3 random things that he could say. So there's quite a few moments when there'll be random things that he could say. So you do that, and in classic point-and-click fashion, you don't really see how that makes sense, like you put it in there. But you kind of see his arm under the table. So I thought, alright, we could make some sort of contraption that makes you beat him at arm wrestling. But I just thought it would be funnier if just him sitting there for like hours, just with his eyes closed, trying to wrestle his hand attached to the table. He's just getting on with it. So we can go to the members club now. Funny story about this tune is that it's kind of what made me part of the idea for the game. In that, like, I always make stupid songs in my head. Like, I was at my old job as a creative writer, just like working for people, pretty boring. Like, I was just sitting by the Thames without work break. And I was just like, saw something in the Thames that looked like a body just like floating, and I just started singing an old sea chanty about it. And I was like, what are you doing? What should I do? I'll use the idea from that song, and then it kind of started. And you'll see the lyrics to the song in a little while. Yeah, again, sorry about the colour of the text. It should be different colours depending on the character that gets a bit confusing. So yeah, there's a lot of talking in the game. All of it's like relevant to sort of the situation of the character. When you have sort of dialogue options, there's always like one that will be, it will be noticeably what you should choose if you want to advance the story. The other one will kind of be if you just want to learn more about the situation of the characters. So you're investigating the murder of a prostitute for her sister's paying you to investigate her murder, although you did have to kind of convince her to investigate it, because originally you're hired to just retrieve a locket from Morgue, where she is, because pigs have kind of stolen this locket and they refuse to give it back to her sister. But you kind of become a bit attached and you want to try and solve this murder. So, last thing about murder. So the dialogue skipping is quite funny as well, because click fast forward time, which is a bit strange. So it's kind of like, I don't know if you played The Witcher, like when you sort of skip to the next bit of dialogue, kind of the character will sort of change position, so it's more like a time skip. So that's kind of the only way to make it work. So basically we want to find some leads about Scale Alice. Find out that she's with Jonathan Gibbs, who's in the booth next door. So we need to give him a thinking to. So let's see. Like every time you kind of look at stuff, depending on your point in the game, you might return to the same places, but you look at an item and you have something different to say, because in like a different state of mind, or might get to a point where you can't bother to say anything clever or smart, and it's just like too tired. Or like there are points when you're just drunk and you're just saying like really offensive things about stuff you looked at earlier, just really stupid things. Not exactly a perfect detective, but in like the first hour of the game, you kind of vomits twice. The first time he collapses in a puddle and he's doing vomit. He goes into his dream world, which every time he sleeps, he goes into a dream world. And his dream world's kind of like occupied by items and people that he's kind of seen during the day, or it might not be that obvious how they're related, but yeah, that kind of happens every time he sleeps. So that's going to so there's Jonathan Gibbs. This is booth areas. This booth is currently empty, although I'm going to put a couple of Kickstarter backers in there. Because, yeah, that was one of the raw tiers, so some Kickstarter backers going up. So let's try and talk to him. So if you tried to do this earlier, you weren't in fact any calls to really talk to him. So now you do, you're gonna yeah, get his attention. So talk to him. So yeah, basically it's he's quite an interesting character, Sydney, in that he doesn't really know what's driving him or why he's doing this, or whether it's, even though he wants to find out who killed this woman, he kind of convinced her sister to let him take the case, even though she wasn't going to dispute that way. And he took the money for it, and he kind of, even though he feels bad about taking the money, he has to pay for it. So you kind of see his sort of faults sometimes, his dark faults. So he's kind of, because you don't spoil too much, but you kind of see the scale, meet the scale, and see very briefly that he's kind of grown attached to her in a way, and so he's like, he took offence to that. Maybe he's not going to come out and say that, obviously. So you need to find out more, sort of disprove his alibi, really. So Sydney, you can see he's taking his coat off. So like, just depending on the situation, he'll sometimes keep his coat on, take his coat off. I just want it to be kind of realistic, although it is like extra effort, like animating some things like twice with his coat on and off. But I think you know, it's a bit unrealistic sometimes if someone's dressed in the same thing all the time, like wearing a coat in a casual situation. Even though there's an obvious reason to it, is it takes a lot of time and effort to like animate twice. Still to interest. Yeah, so he hasn't really had any proper cases for a long time. He's kind of living off his past glories. He's had a couple of like cases that were quite free for, but they were many years ago. So it's like a gentleman's club where a lot of the guys come with prostitutes. So now we've got calls to talk to him again. We know that he's lying, basically. He's asked a few more questions. So again, after, because she's kind of mentioned that she's at Treff Street and Cedric had food, etc. Yeah, so that will be added to your map as a new place to check out. Do a lot of background research into this ridiculous thing to find myself on Wikipedia and such sites. What are the popular puddings of the Victorian time? A lot of talking in sort of reality, well, as it were. In his dream world's like different. There's no inventory. Kind of, it's just more about interactions and kind of cause and effects of different things you do. So it's pretty cool to say a bit more time. works. Built-in systems like particle effects, and that's just like one pixel that I've kind of next to the particles on, and it just makes a nice sort of warm feel. Oh no, glitch. Let's go to gifts. Everything's kind of got two things I can say if you inspect something or look at it. I always liked that about the original Präsentation, where you just kind of here to a deeper opinion on a certain item or looks like twice. Okay, so let's do this. It's hard not to resist toning down a game and language and everything, but I just determined not to kind of treat it in the same way I treat a book. And I just want the dialogue to just be realistic and don't tone it down as if a game is which you can put a lot of form that's kids early. I always keep that sort of humour that only a game can really get through. Okay, so found out that he's lying. So Cedric told us to say goodbye before we left. As we do, let's go. So this is the lyrics that I'm kind of It looks a lot nicer when you have all the different colours and text. section of the way. So, it's a nice bright scene. Yeah, I'll pretty much stop here. Show you a little bit. Yeah, so does anyone have any questions?
When are you looking to have this out there?
Well, the Kickstarter date that I set was like July of this year, which was like a really good date to set because it's like a massive game. Though I've recently decided pretty definite that I'm going to release it in 2 acts, just because I want to get something out as soon as possible, just so people don't have to wait for ages. So hopefully I'm going to try and have the first act done by July 2015, so 7 months. That alone will probably be about 4 hours long, if not maybe a bit longer. Yeah, so hopefully not too long. Any questions? Okay. Thank you.